My agenda includes, comparing to on-campus housing and types of rental units, and where to look for this and rental places, and checking rental ads, and aspects to consider, and then how to approach rental ads, and about the scam, and what you should remember before you move in. So let's go in. Fancy intro. And we go to on-campus housing and off-campus housing. So before we go on talking about off-campus housing in earnest, I'm going to address the elephant in the room first, which is on-campus housing. I get a lot of questions about it. However, unfortunately, student residencies on campus are not available for the spring semester for new students, because they turn into guest accommodations during the summer months. So the option for new students, you are limited to off-campus housing. So I'm not going to talk about all the benefits that you can get by staying on campus this time, but I'll move on to off-campus housing. However, though, you can still apply for the full semester if you want to live on campus. So please go to the housing website and do that. And if you want to do this, you would have to get a short-term place for the summer months to rent, and then move in to on campus in the fall. September 5th or 4th is usually the check-in date. And regardless of housing option of your choice, please remember to arrange any temporary accommodations where you can stay when you arrive in St. John's and while you are in the process of securing your long-term housing. We don't have any temporary accommodation on campus, please remember. So if you arrive without any accommodation, you would have to get a hotel room or Airbnb that is only available that day, which is very, very expensive. So you don't want to do that. Please arrange any accommodation so you can go after you arrive, after the long travel. You're going to be tired and you don't want to go through all this trouble, okay? So let's go into the types of rental units first. I will start with the most affordable option, which is renting a room in a shared accommodation. So that means that you're going to rent a room in a house and share spaces like bathrooms or kitchen with other roommates. In this rental unit type, there are two types as well. One is renting a room in a shared house with only other roommates. Landlord doesn't live in the house. But the other one is you can rent a home, rent a room in a family-occupied or owner-occupied home that could provide you a home-like atmosphere. It's not a homestay, but it can give you the benefits of living with the local people here. So when you do that, I would still recommend to draft a written agreement and be clear on expectations from the beginning. Communication is key. And this is the most affordable option for single students. I said single students here because it is not recommended for families, because families would want their independent unit. You don't want to share the places with the other students, right? It's more suitable for single students. The price at the moment in St. John's to rent a room usually ranges from $600 to $800 per month. And as opposed to the independent unit, which doesn't usually include utilities, in this type of rental unit, utilities can be included in the rent. So please look out if it includes utilities or not. And in Newfoundland, the utilities usually refer to three things: heat and light and internet. And if heating is electricity, and then you can just count on just electricity and the internet. If it is oil heating, you should really look out because it can be pretty costly. So what's the other type of rental units? Let's go to the next one, independent units. It is or literally renting a unit that you can use independently. And there are many options. And usually apartments are usually the ones that you call it rental units here. There are two types of apartments. One is the rental units managed by property management companies or apartment management companies. They manage all units in the apartment building and standardize the leasing process as well. So tenants usually sign the lease agreement with the property management company. And they may share some amenities such as laundry with other residents in the same building. So company-owned apartments, well, although it is in the second line here, in St. John's, there are two big companies. One is Killam and one is Northview. They have dozens of apartment complexes in St. John's. You can go onto their website and check the availability. It is one of the most popular options for families usually because they have two-bedroom apartments priced from like probably $1,000 to like $1,800. So, but I didn't look, I include a lot of information here in this presentation because it can be a little hard to secure an apartment in these apartment complex because they require some requirements that it is a little hard for new students to get. But have a look, and if you're interested, please let me know. We can have another like little chat and fill you in with more details. So a lot of students who wants to rent these independent units, they end up renting privately owned apartments. This usually means basement units. So basement apartments is part of a house where landlords may rent as a separate apartment. So you still may share some features like the doorway, laundry, driveway with the homeowner, but you have your own units. And they say it's basement units, but it doesn't have to be like underground dingy, like because it just is called basement units because it is in the part of the house and usually on the lower floor. So and well, if in Canada you come and then see all these units, if the units can be owned by individual, you see these buildings like matchbox units, a box type apartment big buildings, and if it is for rental, they are apartments. But if it can be owned by individuals, these units are not called apartments; they are called condo. So this can be rented out privately by the owner as they're in the secondary house rental market, same thing. So tenants into the lease agreement with an individual homeowner. And so it is basically the same as renting a house. As in this third line, we have house for rent. If you want more than 2 bedrooms, usually house is the best bet for you. So if you have a bigger family, more than 4 family members, you should probably rent a house which has 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms with 1 or 2 bathrooms. So in Canada, cultural concept of space can be very different from what you think in your country. Because like some students think, oh, we don't mind a small space, even though we have like a three or 4 family unit members. But here, well, because Canada is really big and then they have a very different concept of space. They might think, oh, my apartment is too small for 4 families. Although you may think it is enough, but well, it is different. So if they say that, oh, like we can't rent to your family, that is because maybe the cultural difference. So this option is suitable for singles or families. Well, families for obvious reasons, and for singles because some students want to have relative privacy, like you only want to share your house or your common areas with one person rather than having 3 or 4 roommates. So as a result, in St. John's rental markets nowadays, two-bedroom apartments are the most popular. So it can be really hard to secure one, especially when you're not here, because there are so many demands and candidates, and then usually the one who is here has a more advantage. So the price range for these rental units would range from 900 to 2,400 per month. I know it is very wide because it depends on how big the place is and a lot of other things like location, amenities, and things. And the trend I see is this rent is not determined by just the size or location. I think it more depends on how new or renovated, how nice the place is. So I see even a one-bedroom apartment is $2,000, while a three-bedroom house is rented to $1,600. So when you see a price, there should be a reason, and then it is really good practice for you to look around these rental listings, because it trains your eyes to see like, oh, why is this on my price, or why is that? And so I want you to have a look around when you have time. So one characteristic of these independent units when it's rented is that utilities are not included in the rent. And this is called POU, pay your own utilities. So that means you have to factor into utilities in your monthly budget. And heating is, again, the most pricey part of the utilities. So in the summer semester, luckily, it's not going to be a big concern. But please check on how much utilities you should expect to pay when you're renting. You can ask your landlords or roommates. Or you can come to me, I can give you a general idea, but it is really, the range is really wide. So I don't want to give you just this number, and then maybe you would say that, oh, that is very different from what I thought. So just reach me, please. And so where you should look for these rental units. This may be the most frequent popular questions that I get. And here are some resources you can use. So I'm going to just go very quickly because I have some examples in the next slides. So we have iron listing, space is shared, and Killamore North View for apartments, as I mentioned earlier, and property management companies or agency. They are like the agency you may think. You can rent a place through these companies and then get a contract with them as well. Landlords are there, but the landlords, they hired these companies to rent and manage their rental properties. And there's a word of mouth, although it is at the end of this list. I think it can be one of the most important sources that you can get, because everyone wants to rent their place to a trustworthy, someone you can trust. So please spread the word to your friends or like classmates around, and then ask them if is there any available places to rent, and maybe they can be the easiest and the most affordable way to get the rental place. However, everyone doesn't have this luxury, and we are going to look at other places to look. And so by far, the most active rental listings website in St. John's at the moment is Facebook Marketplace. So there's a Kijiji and a classified at the end, but it was more traditional. But then it seems like it's a little old. And if there is a ad in this Kijiji or any classifieds, it is also advertised in the Facebook Marketplace. So for myself, I don't even bother to go to Kijiji and classifieds anymore, and just to go to the marketplace. And there are other groups on Facebook as well, such as Man Off-Campus Housing Sale, you may already know, or there are like other things, two more examples here. But these groups, I don't know why, there are more reports for scams. So please be careful to verify the listing if they are genuine. So we'll see IO listing first, where you can find it. It can be found in our website, Internationalization Office. And when you go to a category of new students, you can see off-campus housing and housing options. There is IO listing. The easier way to do this is just to go to MON's website, Emory University website, and in the search, you can put IO listing, and then it'll just take you to this page. So when you go there and when you click IO listing here, what you will see is this table. So IO listing is basically it is according to rental options that have been submitted through the Internationalization Office's rental listing submission form. So local people who want to rent their place to international students, they contact our office, specifically me, and then I collect this in rental listings and then put it in this file and periodically update the listings. So sometimes it is slow, sometimes it is more busy, but please keep monitoring it if you're interested. And then if you have any questions, again, please reach out to me anytime. So when you see this, there are some places that to note. Well, first, the orange square, it is the address, and it is linked to Google Map. So when you click it, it takes you to the Google Map and the place in the Google Map. And this has to be always the first thing to check where the place is, and then check the direction to Emory University. It shows like how long it takes by bus or on foot, or other things. I think that is only two options: bus or on foot or by car. Yeah. But anyways, well, odds are you're not going to be driving at first, so you should always check the bus route and then how long it takes to get to the campus by walking as well. And the yellow line means when the listing is added. So this is April 5th. And well, the odds are again the latest listings, the latest rental units must be more available because the older ones tend to get rented. I try to keep updated by contacting the landlords and then checking their availability. But the popular ones can be taken as a matter of like a day or two. So I would start from the latest section when I go to this IO listing. The good thing is they are more, I think I would trust these listings more than other Facebook listings. And they prefer the international students to rent their place. So they might be more open to you. And the red squares means maybe the most one of the most important part, like the rent and the security deposit and the rental type and what utilities are included or what facilities and amenities are included in the listing. If you have any questions, please reach out to the landlord themselves. They are not just the landlord. Sometimes it is subletters. So because if you have a place and then you are wanting to sublet their place, they can advertise on our IO listing as well. But when you do that, please see the star in the green square. It's the landlord's preferred communication method. So it says email, phone, text message. So this Rushi is very flexible. But sometimes they say just email or just the phone or just text message. Then please respect that because you don't want to give the bad impression when you first contact them. And if you have any questions, please you can directly reach out to them because then you can talk to them and then ask questions and then decide if it's going to be a good fit and then arrange a viewing. And sometimes they can maybe accommodate your need and then hold their place for your arrival before you arrive. So, well, we are going to go to the next option, which is a space shared. So, Space Shared, this is a new project we just started with a partnership with a service provider called Space Shared. It is a Canada-wide company that they are partnership with a lot of universities. Basically, it is a platform that allows older adults and students interested in intergenerational home sharing to connecting. So, as it is new, there are not many listings available at the moment. The last time I checked, there are only 4 listings. However, keep an eye out if you're interested and sign up for an account to get updates. So there is some kind of a very special feature in this site, which is if the owner wants, they can ask you to help with some of their house chores, and then you can get a discount in your rental. For example, maybe you can help with snow clearing or mowing lawn and maybe some cleaning or something like doing the groceries, and it is included in their conditions or the listings if you can do that, and then you can get some discount in your weekly rental, weekly rent. So, well, there will be a lot of questions for you to go through when you first sign up, but that is to match you with the most suitable match the learners. So, well, again, it is just new, so there are not many listings available, but please go and check. And the next one, the most active rental listings at the moment. So it is on Facebook Marketplace. When you go to property renters, you can see a lot of the ads there. And what I do when I go to Facebook Marketplace is when searching, I set up the sorting option to the newest first. Because as I said, the popular options, if you like something, other people would like it too. And popular options are gone as a matter of like 1 day or 2. So you don't want to waste your time to like reply to the older and which might not be even available. And they're like trying to get the place in the old places. And so I would sort from the newest first. If it was just posted about 2 hours ago, well, like I would say that it is still available, right? And so that's what I do. And then when you click individual items, you can see there's the specific listings and the description. Please like have a read carefully, and if you're interested, you can reply to the ad. And I'm going to discuss about like how to respond to this rental ads. So I'm going to just go on to the next one. And just one thing to note, listings on these websites and social media groups are not vetted or endorsed by Emory University. So make sure to verify the legitimacy of the listing. Please do your due diligence and be wary of scams, please. And a good rule of thumb is if the listing looks too good to be true, I hate to break it to you, but it probably is not true. And well, if you're using a property management companies, well, I have the list of this property management companies that are in play in St. John's. So please reach out to me. I will share the listings, the list with you. And well, the thing about this property management, it is maybe better than like contacting the landlord directly, because they are more professional. But because there is commission that landlord has to pay to the company to manage their place, the rent tend to be a little more expensive, but it is more reliable. However, there is no cost as a tenant in general because they are paid by the landlord, I mean the commission. And so, well, if you are interested and if you have to secure something before you arrive, I would use these property management companies. And again, if you need a list, please let me know and I'll send you a list. So when you are looking at ES, it is not just rent or location. There are a lot of aspects to consider, and you need to know what's your priority. So there are three things in general I divided. Like one is safety and comfort, and proximity, which is a location, and affordability, which is like how much the rent, and then what you should budget. So when it comes to housing, these are the most important things, and having a good understanding of what your needs are will help you narrow your search as well and explore options that work with your needs. So many students tend to overlook other factors than the affordability side when they make a decision. But you need to feel safe and comfortable when you're home, when you go home after a long day. And it can be very difficult to get out of a contract once you sign a contract. So please take all the factors into consideration and make sure they are all covered when you are searching for your next home. Let's see safety and comfort and like what aspects to consider. Okay, so understand what you need to feel safe and reflect on your comfort level. Feeling safe, though, can be subjective, meaning what one person needs to feel safe and comfortable may be different for someone else. So it is important to understand what you need to feel safe, and you have to reflect on your comfort level. So here are some examples that can affect your safety or comfort level. The first one, like whether the unit is in the basement or above ground. So some people are completely okay at living in the basement apartment with less sunlight, but some people can feel not safe, right? So you need to think of what you need. So there's a number or sizes of the windows. It is important because it decides on how much sunlight you get in your unit. And the bathroom or shower access, if you are sharing a house with other roommates, you may have to share one bathroom with multiple roommates, and it can affect your comfort level too. And so some places are fully furnished, or some places are unfurnished. As a new student, I think you would have to look for fully furnished because you don't want to buy the furniture at once, and it will be very costly and then take a long time. And there are other things I just want you to have a look around and then just to go to the next one. So the next aspect to consider is proximity. So it is not just about distance to the campus. It is about the neighborhoods and then the bus routes and then what amenities or shops are available in your neighborhood. It can also even mean like how noisy it can be in your house. Because if you're living next to the main roads, it can be pretty loud because the traffic is always there. So always check Google Map and directions to the campus, as I said before when we were looking at our listing. And because St. John's doesn't have a very good public transportation system, I'm sorry, there maybe the Metro bus is the only one reliable or semi-reliable public transportation, unless you want to use taxi every time. Well, it can be very, very expensive. Anyways, so there are some listings you can factor into when you're deciding your rental place, such as grocery stores. We have 4 big grocery chain stores like Sobeys, Dominion, Walmart, Commons. When you look at the Google map and you see these, oh, there's a grocery store in our neighborhood, which is good. Or drugstores, and we have 2 big shopping mall. One is Avalon Mall, one is the Village Mall. Personally, I prefer Avalon Mall. It is bigger and better, but well, again, it is our personal preferences. in hospitals or medical clinics, or if you have children, schools or daycare is important as well. So please have a think. And the next, but not least, so it is affordability. So how much you have to pay monthly to get your place. So there is no fixed price for housing, which makes it more difficult, I think. So the cost varies depending on the location, type of housing, the age of building, amenities or facilities, etc., etc. And there is a rental term. Some contract is based on month to month, which means that you can extend your stay in your rental place month by month. Or there is a fixed term. You make an agreement to stay in one place for 6 months to 1 year. So it is fixed. So there are pros and cons in every type, because if you have a fixed term, you cannot leave the place until you feel your fixed term, unless you have an understanding with your landlord. So please be careful and prudent. And security deposit, I'm going to talk about a little later, so I'm going to go on. And if it is included or if it is POU, that is important as well. When it is POU, please check how the usage is calculated or how much the average monthly cost is. And the rent is also decided by the fact whether it is furnished or unfurnished. If it is furnished, obviously that is more expensive. And recently renovated places seem to be a lot higher, but nicer, but higher rates. So when you think of the affordability, it's not just the rent. You should think about the security deposit, utilities, and then furnished or a lot of other things, please. And when you see an ad that you are interested, so how to approach? It can take more strategy than you think, because like one of the most frequent compliments I get is students say, "Oh, I reply to an ad, but I don't hear from the landlords at all. I don't get replied." And I think you should think not getting replied is a default, because apparently if there is an ad, the landlords get hundreds of messages if it is a good place. So you have to stand out in a way. So we're going to talk about this. So when you reply to an ad based on that info, pre-written text may help, because you don't want to take so long time every time you answer or reply to an ad, and then you're going to be more, I don't know, annoyed if you don't hear from the person that you send the message to. So make an introduction, nice introduction of yourself and what you are looking for, what kind of tenant you are, and I'm going to share the examples after this slide. And when you're waiting for the reply, don't pester the person who posted the advertisement. Again, you don't want to give the bad impression. You should show that you respect and then always abide by the rules, kind of thing. But doesn't mean that you should be shy to ask any questions. You have to ask if there is any concerns or questions arise, because if there is a question that you have when you see a rental ad it's going to pester you during the whole time, and then if it's not answered, that means that problem is still there. And so please ask any questions to the landlord and then get answer. If you don't get satisfactory answers, that means maybe you are going to have problems later too. So don't just think it's going to be okay. Well, make sure that you are comfortable. And arrange a viewing and inspect the rental property in person. Here, the most important part is in person. Well, we don't recommend getting a permanent housing, especially if it is a fixed term, before you arrive, because a lot of hidden things can be there if you don't see the place in person. It is really different what you see in the pictures and what you be there in the place. So, well, the ideal would be like have a viewing in person and meet the landlord in person as well. And scams are very important, and then you have to be very careful. And we are going to uncover this topic a little later again. So I'm going to share the examples that you can pre-write before you reply to a rental ad. So the first one is A. I am not very creative, so I just went with A. And this is a person who came here with a spouse. And I'm just going to, oh no, we don't have much time, so I just want to have a look, and you can go back again and then have a look again. So it just shows how you're responsible tenants, and then you are going to take care of the rental properties well, and then you pay the rent on time. Right? So there are two things seem to be the most important. One is if you are able to pay the rent on time without missing. And the second is you are being responsible by cleaning the house and then not damaging the property. The two things you need to emphasize, you are a good tenant because you are going to pay the rent on time, and you are going to be very respectable tenant, and then clean, keep the property clean. So that's the first example. And the second, oh, where's the second one? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. So the second one, sorry. Okay, let's just go with this. So the second one is just like a little younger student who is a 20-year-old international student from, again, my lack of creativity, just said your country should be there. And then you were just saying how good roommate to be. It is for maybe single students who are looking out for roommates. So again, you can have a look, and then it shows like what you should emphasize when you are reaching out and get a reply. So next, the scam alert. So there are way too many scam reports that we see. So please be sure that you are careful and then to verify the legitimacy of the rental units. So this is a checklist to ensure there are no red flags when choosing a place to rent. And I'm not going to go everything just now, so you can go back and then have a look with your own time. But the point is, I always check if the rental unit or rental ad is legitimate, and before signing a lease or handing over any money, because money is always a target usually, right? So and ensure you have inspected the entire unit and all the amenities and facilities in person again. So, and there is another thing, landlords can only ask for the first month rent and the refundable security deposit. I said I'm going to talk about this earlier. So in NL, Newfoundland and Labrador, it is different from other provinces. Like Ontario, they can ask for last month rent as well. But here they can only ask for security deposits, which is 75% maximum of the rental. So save 75% of monthly rent is the maximum they can ask for. And then there are no other fees that are legal, like application fees, holding fees, viewing fees, cleaning fees, and pet deposits. They are all legal. So just up to 75% of the rent is all they can ask for. It can be 50%, but it cannot be more than 75%. And don't give away any of your personal or confidential information before you are like 100%, and then you have to give them some kind of proof. Even then you can show them, but then don't leave any information with the other people. And if you have any questions, again, please reach out to me and then we can have a chat. And some more additional things before you move in, it is some kind of tips. Take pictures to document the condition of the rental unit. The more pictures, the better. So this is because like when you move out, I know that it is a little too early to think about moving out, but it is very important because when you move out and you pay the security deposit, and the landlord might say, oh, you caused some damage in our place, so I'll have to take your security deposit and I'm not going to return you. But then you would have to say, no, it was there before I moved in, but then you have to prove that. And then, so if you have the pictures, then you don't have to argue and then go through all these lengthy arguments just to show them pictures, because it has timestamps and everything. So which just like saves a lot of energy and time in the disputes. And put all agreements in writing just as well, like when it becomes, when something happens and then you have to go into disputes or something, if you have all agreements in writing, then you don't have to talk in lengthy about like what you said was true. And also when you pay your landlord, always request a receipt. For example, security deposits. Everything, you just have to have everything in writing and documents so that, well, you don't have to waste like your energy and then be stressed at the end of your tenancy. And some landlords may ask you to get a tenant insurance. And this is another, like maybe I can go on about an hour again. But this can be a very good insurance for you when you rent a place, because it can insure if there's a place, if the place has problems and you have to move out, and let's say there's a flood, so something is really like something bad happened and you have to move out, then where are you going to stay? The tenant insurance can pay for your temporary accommodation, like as well as it can insure about your belongings in the rental unit. So it's not that expensive, maybe $20 to $30 a month. So we recommend you have tenant insurance. In some cases, landlord would demand you get one. Okay, well, there's a lot more to talk about when it comes to housing, but then we can't take all your time. So, and everyone has different questions. So, again, and last time, please reach out to me and then we can have a chat. So that is about it for my housing presentation. Thank you for listening.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Harry. Before we go to Deepika, I think it's good to take a little bit of a break and answer some questions. So do you have any questions about arrivals or off-campus housing? I think there is one question for you, Harry. It says, I have already applied for on-campus housing family apartment. There is a message in the portal that says result will be informed in the mid of April, but I still didn't get any response. What can I do next? How can I get to know about the result?
Okay, so I don't know so Tanushan, is that correct? When did you apply for the on-campus family apartment?
Yeah, in the hi, I'm Danishan. Yeah, I have applied in the end of the February.
This year?
Yeah.
For this